Wedding for one of the richest men in the world, but it's also stoking controversy as preparations are underway in Venice. Venice this morning, where the star-studded wedding celebration of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sánchez continues.
It's an impossible city. It can't exist. And yet here it is.
That is just one of many multi-million-dollar yachts that we're seeing here.
These two were behaving like they thought they were royalty. They were, she did the balcony wave like she's a Maryland figure or a genuine British royal.
And his wedding costing up to a whopping $55 million.
$50 million, a private island in Venice, over 90 private jets, and a guest list packed with billionaires, reality stars, and global icons. On paper, Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sánchez's wedding should have been the event of the decade. But instead of praise, the wedding was slammed online as over-the-top, awkward, and, maybe worst of all, deeply out of touch. Guests looked uncomfortable, critics mocked the decor, and some celebrities may have wished they never showed up at all. So what really happened behind the scenes of this bizarre billionaire wedding? Let's break down the fashion fails, celebrity shade, and the rumors that just won't go away. When you're worth over $200 billion, you can get married anywhere. Jeff Bezos chose Venice, not just any part of Venice, but the Arsenale, a 12th century shipyard usually reserved for art exhibitions. The venue was shut down, reworked, and heavily guarded, with rumors claiming even city officials were pressured to make it happen. Reports say the wedding cost somewhere between $46 and $56 million. And that doesn't include the massive $500 million yacht that served as a floating palace for the weekend. Around 200 VIPs arrived via private jet, over 90 flights in and out of the city, tracked in real time by jet watchers online. This detail didn't sit well with critics, especially given the irony. Many guests, including Leonardo DiCaprio, have publicly championed climate causes. Yet here they were, flying private to party on a super yacht with the Amazon founder. The wedding also shut down parts of Venice, turning a historic city into a celebrity playground. Locals and activists weren't impressed. One protest group marched through the canals with signs that read "No space for Bezos." They accused him of using the city as a stage set, then vanishing the moment the cameras stopped rolling. But this wasn't just a wedding. It felt like a campaign. And the person leading that campaign wasn't Jeff. It was Lauren Sánchez. Lauren Sánchez didn't just marry a billionaire, she stepped into a new role, and it was very, very public. Just hours after the wedding, her Instagram was wiped clean, all past posts gone. Only 2 perfectly curated photos remained, her and Jeff in full wedding glam. She also quietly updated her name to Lauren Sánchez Bezos, signaling what many are calling a personal rebrand. Then came the Vogue cover. Alone in her wedding dress, Sánchez appeared on the front of Vogue Mexico just days after the ceremony, a spotlight that most brides could only dream of, but not everyone approved. In fact, fashion insiders whisper that longtime Vogue editor Anna Wintour resigned in part because of that cover. While that's not confirmed, the timing raised eyebrows. Reports suggest Wintour was unhappy with the editorial direction and didn't support Lauren being featured, and that's just the surface. Online buzz claims Lauren sees herself as the next big celebrity power player, not a private partner, but a public figure, possibly even aiming to become America's royal couple alongside Bezos. Reddit threads compared her to Kris Jenner, with some saying she's chasing a Kardashian-level spotlight without the charm or relatability. People also pointed out how drastically her appearance has changed over the years. Comments flooded in, wondering if her new look was part of the transformation. Again, nothing confirmed, but it shows how closely the public is watching her every move. Lauren's fashion at the wedding added to the conversation. Her dress was designed by Dolce & Gabbana, heavy with lace, corsets, and full sleeves. Some thought it looked too wintry for an Italian summer. Others felt it aged her unnecessarily, but everyone agreed. The look was meant to be seen. This wasn't just a bride, this was a woman stepping into center stage, and not everyone's buying it. But the real fashion controversy hadn't even started yet. Lauren Sánchez may have been the bride, but all eyes landed on Kylie Jenner, and not in a good way. Kylie showed up in a pale blue, almost white corset dress that many thought looked way too close to a bridal gown. Online, fans immediately blasted the choice as inappropriate. Some even joked she looked more like the bride than Lauren did. And to make matters worse, the gown appeared to have a rip in it, or maybe a jagged cut, right at the hip. Intentional or not, it sparked a storm of questions. Was it a fashion statement, a stunt, or just a misstep? To be fair, the entire wedding felt like a style experiment gone wrong. Critics called the venue decor Amazon chic, comparing the carpets to something straight out of a tech company boardroom. Even the aisle was covered in thick, gray, office-looking carpet that made everything feel oddly sterile, like a corporate launch instead of a wedding. And Lauren's dress, while clearly expensive, it drew some of the harshest fashion critiques of the weekend. Fashion blogs called it aging, too modest, and strangely seasonal. Especially under the hot Venice sun, it looked like something meant for winter, with heavy lace and full coverage. A few commenters even said it seemed like she was dressing to look serious, like she was trying to convince people this was more than just a performance. But maybe the most revealing part of the fashion chaos was how out of place everyone looked. Random celebrities packed into boats and ballrooms, dressed to the nines, but clearly unsure what they were doing there. Which leads us to the next question. Why was Sydney Sweeney there? What about Tom Brady, Jerry Seinfeld, or even Orlando Bloom, who showed up solo without Katy Perry? These weren't just celebrity appearances, they felt random. That randomness fueled one of the biggest questions of the weekend. Did Jeff Bezos actually pay people to attend? There's no solid proof, but Reddit threads lit up with speculation. Some fans believe guests may have had their flights, hotels, and transportation fully covered. Others suggested favors were traded behind the scenes, soft deals, brand promises, or future partnerships. One Redditor summed it up like this: "It's probably not straight up cash, but travel, lodging, and PR perks? Absolutely." And then there's the Lady Gaga situation. Reports before the wedding claimed she would perform at the reception. Sloan even mentioned it on Instagram. But when that didn't happen, some users claimed Bezos backed out of her reported $6 million fee, allegedly deciding the optics weren't worth it. Whether that's true or not, it added fuel to the theory that this wasn't just a guest list. It was a PR machine. And what a guest list it was. Oprah, Kim, and Khloe Kardashian, Ivanka Trump, Usher, even Bill Gates showed up. But when you look at them all together, it doesn't seem like one cohesive friend group. It feels manufactured, like the Met Gala, but without the theme. And yet, the most awkward moment of all may have come from someone who tried not to be noticed. Leonardo DiCaprio is known for two things: dating young women and preaching about climate change. That second part, it made his appearance at Bezos' wedding hard to explain. Leo showed up wearing a black baseball cap, pulled low over his eyes. He kept his head down, avoided cameras, and looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. The hat itself became a meme. One post read, "When you preach about saving the planet but take a private jet to a billionaire's foam party." Others called him a hypocrite, pointing out how deeply involved he is in environmental causes like Before the Flood, while attending an event that involved nearly 100 private jets, a diesel-powered super yacht, and custom everything. And he wasn't alone in that criticism. One viral comment summed it up: "These are the people building bunkers, while the rest of us argue about school lunch funding." It wasn't just about one hat or one celebrity, it was about a bigger question. How out of touch can you be before people stop playing along? And that's exactly what happened next. Once the wedding ended and the photos hit the internet, the backlash came fast, and it didn't hold back. A wave of online comments criticized not just the look of the wedding, but what it represented. $50 million on a 3-day event during a time when people are struggling with rent, healthcare, and basic needs? That didn't sit well. One viral post read, "Meanwhile, we're debating free school lunches while Bezos is throwing foam parties on a yacht." Another simply said, "Tacky is back." Even public figures chimed in. Meghan McCain tweeted that the whole event felt gross and like a billionaire cosplay of a royal wedding. Others echoed the idea that Lauren Sánchez and Jeff Bezos weren't just celebrating love. They were trying to build a brand, a new power couple, America's answer to Meghan and Harry. But if that was the plan, it didn't exactly work. Some critics called it a PR nightmare. From the confusing guest list to the awkward red carpet moments and environmental hypocrisy, it all seemed too forced, too flashy, too desperate. And the worst part? People didn't really care. That's what made it sting. For all the money spent, all the coverage bought, and all the curated Instagram posts, it didn't go viral for the right reasons. It didn't win anyone over. Instead, it raised questions about wealth, image, and how far billionaires will go to stay in the spotlight. The wedding wasn't a disaster because of one bad outfit or one uncomfortable guest. It was a disaster because it felt empty, loud, expensive, and hollow. And it left the world asking one big question. After everything, dozens of celebrities, custom fashion, private jets, and a multi-million-dollar backdrop, did this wedding do what it was supposed to? If the goal was love, sure, they got married. But if the goal was something more, reputation, influence, even likability, it might have missed the mark. Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sánchez wanted to make a statement, and they did, but not the one they hoped for. Instead of admiration, they got mockery. Instead of elegance, they got memes. Instead of becoming America's royal couple, they became internet fodder for a week, and then everyone moved on. Because in the end, money can buy attention. It can buy yachts, dresses, and Vogue covers. But what it can't buy is taste. So the real question is, how long before we see Bezos and Sánchez try again? A new brand, a new launch, another grand event? Or maybe this was it. One final bid for public love, met with a shrug. Let us know what you think in the comments. Was this wedding just out of touch billionaire chaos? Or are we all just mad we weren't invited? Either way, one thing's clear. You can buy the best of everything, but you still can't buy class.